All right, let's see. Enough of that. Go with some music. Chiltendo, yeah. I did a second stream yesterday, and we have a few progressions here. I did this owl, which is a long-standing character from Zelda, and then this sort of gargoyle statue, sort of inspired by this thing from the Link to the Past video game. And then I did some backgrounds on this one. So, some progress. And I think I can keep going here. It's early morning, it's wild. Just taking a few minutes to organize my layers a bit. Waiting for the coffee to kick in. All right. There it goes. There's my little bug. Let's see what. Okay, that undid it. What does that do? That's weird. Well, happy that went away, but never sure what causes it. That bug in particular is giving me a ton of anxiety because on Friday I'm going to be doing a live demo for a paying audience. And not talking about Twitch, this is for sort of educational symposium being organized by an educated friend of mine. He's an architect at a university, as well as a working architect. So I should say he teaches architecture. I guess architectural rendering might be what he does in education, but he, designs buildings for Fortune 500 companies and I met him through he's the brother of my wife's friend. But it's funny how you make connections and then there you go. Eventually you've got a paying gig. Sometimes it pays just to shake hands at a wedding, I suppose. But this is a Zoom. This will be like a Zoom lecture that I'll do. And I've done this sort of thing before. Usually I do it for free. In this case, he's insisting on paying, which I appreciate, but this is not without its perils, because you're sort of entering into a contract at that point. I'd almost prefer to just do it for free, take the pressure off. Like, who am I to tell people how to do anything? I could barely get up in the morning to do my own job. But it is, at the moment, the only thing I have on deck, so I'm not going to waste it. Okay, I'm going to treat this sort of swoopy foreground ground plane as its own layer. Call it a knoll. And then the background sections will just split into sort of left and right compositions. And over here, I want to be pretty undetailed and abstract. Headstones, gravestones, grave markers, whatever you want to call them, they come in all shapes and sizes. And depending on how old the cemetery is, of course, they can be little more than just a rock that's left in the ground, with almost nothing there at all. But I know I kind of want to reinforce this hypnotic circularness. So I'm going to force a sense of vertigo in the perspective. By creating this kind of a ditch. essentially it's gonna look like that. Until the detail gets so foggy that it just sort of sublimates. There's all sorts of things happening in the composition, sort of forcing. You can see the way the sword is lining up, the way that these characters sort of do their thing, sort of forcing the eye right here, even their eye lines. Maybe it almost looks like there's a stone wall. In the distance. We'll make sure that there's something that feels like this landscape is consistent with itself even when it gets over here. And of course, we have to remember to include all the spooky trees. But I do like the idea of seeing some of these exposed roots. Hey, Faye. What's going on? Good morning, good afternoon. I'm good. It's still early, but you ever wake up with a lot of anxiety, you think it's like, well, my mind is racing. Worried about the day. Might as well just get up. I'm not worried about anything bad. There's some things today going on. I've got a dentist appointment bright and early, so I have that to look forward to at 8 a.m. Which means I have to... My wife has a doctor's appointment. I got a lot going on, so I've got to handle everything I've got to handle, plus my 2 kids. But everything's going to be fine. I live where I grew up, so my parents are still alive. They're still here, so I'm able to take them over there. They'll babysit my kids while I'm at the dentist, and then we'll just come back. It'll be okay. Anxiety, yeah. Well, let this spooky drawing of a cemetery settle your mind. There's nothing to be afraid of at all. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. You can see it a little better. Thank you. To add leaves or not to add leaves? That is the question. And yeah, let's put a bunch on. Actually, the leaves will really help the sense of perspective. It'll feel like we're underneath the tree. To see a bunch of foliage from the top of the tree down here near the root level. Art is hard. Well, I hope I'm making it look slightly easier, but yeah. I don't know if you actually draw for money, but it's its own mixed blessing to have to figure out a way to force yourself to draw stuff. Like, it's hard enough to draw stuff that you want to draw, and then you get good at it enough. Despite everything, you get good at it. Then people start saying, hey, can I pay you to draw something you don't want to draw? And the answer's like, yes, I guess that's what I want. Make money from art, right? And I just draw what I want. You give me money for that. I guess that's what I'm working towards now. How can I be that artist? The artist that gets paid to draw what they want to draw and not what Facebook wants them to draw, or not what some corporate entity wants them to draw. I mean, no matter what, you still always have to essentially conform to social guidelines, I guess, but okay, hopefully this is looking like a tree sort of on this little mini overhang by a gully in an old graveyard. I have commissions open for stuff that I'm interested in, capable, but nobody has commissioned you yet. Yes. I could sympathize a bit myself. I've been wide open for bookings for about 2 weeks straight. So if you know anybody who needs storyboards, you let them know. Old Maxi. That's looking decent. Why don't you post it? Or you can actually just, if you have a link here, you should also, somewhere I have a Discord link. I'm not very good at all that stuff yet. I'm pledging to be a little bit better, but eventually I'll make a section where people can post stuff. All right, let's see here. So how do you pronounce it Ko-Fi or coffee? Like, is it, like, it's not, buy me a coffee is an entirely different thing, right? So, Bay Helmet. One-time membership. Toilet paper tube rocket. Here, I'll pull this over. Bay, do you have a personal website? Show more. Okay. This might be it. So this is a corrugated cardboard texture. in the background, yes. I think you just need to have more samples. I mean, this looks cool. Like if you made this, again, this is like a squished down version of something you made. How about instead of, could you possibly find a way to light your work? Like even appears here that you have attempted to light your work, but somehow that isn't translating to showing a lot of the form. A lot of the, what I'd call the presentation here. Okay. This just reads as a little phallic, just right off the top. That may be your intention. But like the juxtaposition on the no, yes, the juxtaposition on the floral. What could I say to do? Maybe get some textures in there that are maybe a little more organic. I hate to say it, your presentation for the photography might need some help. Like this looks fine. I wouldn't lead with technical stuff like this. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Like, you know, the camera that you have is what you have. The setup you have is what you have. You gotta do what you can with, you know, a free version of whatever Photoshop equivalent program you can. You got the fonts that you can. But when you can, think about how to get that killer look. I don't know. It's got to set itself apart. You know, you've seen online other people doing work that, you know, I've seen like crazy mecha type transformer stuff people are making out of cardboard. I think part of your charm is, of course, you're trying to allow for, like, hey, this is an accessible approach. You're not something that's intimidating to people. I think your presentation here is, you know, it's sort of like self-disarming in that it's not being super, you could use the gallery as a portfolio dump. You've got a few things in here where, like, of all the images, this is the one that impresses me most. I'd like to see more of it. And then do you combine the Minecraft? Here you go. Like, this is real world Minecraft stuff. But, like, paint it, you know? Why not? So it can pop. And you could present it in... Yeah. Okay. So you did paint it. It's not here, you know? So you got your work cut out. It's okay. It like, it's all doable. Oh, I wish I had. I mean, Does the Wayback Machine work? Maybe I can look at like my old website. Wayback Machine. Oh, let's try this. Yeah, oof. I'll throw up, I think. What is this? One snapshot. December 12th, 2004. If I click this, what will happen? Looks like it's loading something. Please don't embarrass me. Yeah, wow. It did, it loaded it. Well, I mean, this doesn't even look that bad, but... Close that. Do you want to see my old website from 2004? Okay, yeah, look at that. It doesn't scale or anything. I designed this in Flash. This is a picture of me at the time, if you could believe it. Let's see if I click here. Oh, did not archive that URL. But, like, some of this is super cringe. Designed in Flash, of course, so that was super cringe. Whatever fad was happening at the time, I was willing to embrace it. Back in the day. I mean, you probably weren't even born in 2004. So, I'm not sure if much of this will resonate, but it was the Wild West. Yeah. Will this work if I click it? Oh, wow. Okay, these links don't work, but you could see it's very rudimentary. But what I did do was I constantly iterated. So this was like my website, the start, but then very quickly like by 2005, probably looked very different. No, it did not. Let's look at 2006. What amazing. Okay, so this is how it looked in 2005. And by this time, so let's see here. Wait, was this 2005 or 2006? Okay, this is August 13th, 2006. Oh, looks like I can actually click these things and iterate through. Oh, look how neat this is. We're like traveling back in time. So fascinating. So this is skipping days. I actually want to skip months. Okay, so this is the month. Okay. Wow, this is going to be gross. Are you ready for this? Will it even load? You can see here all these frames. I had like different sections of things that scroll around. Yeah, this isn't even going to play well because the HTML was so fucked at the time. That was just like a little fad that was happening. Okay, well, by this time, this was my website, but I was making a living off my work at this point. I'm talking like paying rent, paying bills. And it also had this God, like, look at this. What is this? Comic Sans? You know? It's like a lesson in what not to do now, but at the time it was a sort of disarming not intimidating kind of charm to it that had warning, this is not a site for children or those easily offended. It's just funny. So like I wonder if any of these things will work if you click on them. Amazing. Here's just a guy checking out someone's boobs. Will this actually load? What an amazing thing. Because I don't even think I have my own archives like this. Like, it's funny that this works, but I don't have a version of it on my... Do you use Comic Sans on your thing? So here's what I'd say is like... You're clearly like embracing the sort of lo-fi-ness, but maybe there's a way to I'm also not of your generation, clearly, also, so like there's a lot of this that I know will sort of work for, you know, people your age, given that it's sort of like a repudiation of modern advertising. Like, look, I fail at advertising, you know, but I'm a genius. If you feel like you can work that to use the Quake font. Okay. Like this is Quake font, not the video game Quake. Is there some sort of like Minecraft font? I'm not saying use that, but here's what I love. I'm gonna this may be like a sort of thing that I'd really like to see if I could suggest. All right, just 2 seconds ago I saw it. Okay, here it is. Okay, here you've got your pixel art. Here you've got your cardboard art. And in the middle you've got your Minecraft pixel, which is like 3D pixels, 3D cardboard kind of thing. If you could find out a way to sort of lay it out a little more clearly, and I'm not sure if this is the website to do it, but something where a viewer can get a sense of this person is an artist across the spectrum of creativity, from the simplest 2D art to slightly more complicated Minecraft creations that are related to 2D pixel art, and then going further from Minecraft creation, it's like Minecraft, and then beyond into cardboard creations, like cardboard. I guess it's sort of like a kit kind of thing. And then beyond that, I'd say, you know, if I were you, I'd make like TikToks or something. I don't know. That's what all the cool kids are doing. Even I'm thinking about it, and like in my country, they're about to cancel TikTok, you know? Okay, so you already do that. Good. Well, keep doing it, I guess. Figure out some way to go viral. I'm trying to do it myself. And when you figure it out, let me know, because I gotta do it too. All right. I don't know if that helps at all. Maybe this is it. Like, how long has it been your website like this? You know, if you just put it up, maybe give it time. If you feel like a lot of people are giving you the feedback that you like, then give it time. If people have a lot of comments about things you should change, consider changing it. You know, don't necessarily... I mean, maybe it is best not to... You never know how close you are to making a breakthrough just doing what you're doing. Oh, there you go. You went viral a year ago. Got 3 million views across 2 videos. Well, my homie, that should have converged on, or converted to a kind of sales. Or were you unprepared for it at the time? 3 million views is, like, incredible. I'll tell you something, like, that kind of, like, I work in advertising. Like, if you could figure out a way to buy 3 million views just artificially, like, my employers would be interested. Was it accidental, or did you sort of happen to be viral in one day? You were unprepared for it. So was this, did you sort of set this up in, like, your Ko-Fi in reaction to it? Like, imagine what would have happened if you were ready. You've already thought of this, of course, so I shouldn't harp on it. But the for those at home who might be lurking, we can guess at the lesson we can learn from Faye, which is, I don't know. Yeah, I wasn't ready. All right, man. Well, you just got to make it happen twice, I guess. Sorry, I said man, but that, I know you're a she, they, and I can't tell from the chats exactly where the pronouns go till I saw it here. She, Faye. There you go. Again, I'm learning about this stuff a little bit too. But I hope it finds you success with that. If you can, keep it up. You've clearly struck it already, you know? What was Brand Warriors subreddit? Okay. I saw that mentioned here. What is Brand Warriors? Yeah, I've heard TikTok is not necessarily the pre-COVID. There were rumblings in my industry that, like, TikTok was the new best way to promote stuff, but okay. Okay. Yeah, here. Okay. FayeHelmetCard.co. Brand Wars Socials. Our Brand Warriors. Okay, so this is... Wait, this is you. I know this is you, right? Did I find your work? There you go. Now this is 123 Paper Helmet, so that's your Reddit there. Now, did you say that they Pizzium, is that a that's like a sponsor of yours or a brand? I guess here's the question, like, because you would know better than I, but like, there was a time that I was, check the link in the pin post, that'll be at the top. Oh, that's you. Okay. Okay, now I'm getting it. Like, you take a bunch of branded materials, like packing materials, shipping materials, that have logos on them. And you, you make a suit of armor out of them. There was a, let's see if this is something that's real still. Yeah. The only thing equivalent I could say I've definitely heard of is this, the concept of the Natty Knight. It's a beer. A guy, basically a warrior that dresses up in beer boxes. It's like a concept gone viral. So I'm sure this isn't the more than one way to do this sort of thing. Okay. Apart from I mean, like, I can see it, like, being, like, a successful viral commercial. Can you share what thing went viral? Or is it... Are you embarrassed of it now? Or... That's okay if you... don't feel like sharing, but... I'm curious to see. Like, maybe we can analyze it together and figure out what went right. Sure, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, if I can't open it, I'll apologize to the world, but we can at least try. Theoretically, I can open a TikTok link on my computer, right? Alright, let's see here.
As it turns out, the more you fuck around, the more you find out.
Time
to find out.
As it turns out, The more you fuck around, the more you find out.
Time to find out.
As it turns out, the more you fuck around, the more you find out.
Time to find out.
Well, I could see why it was super funny, but the Bro's a P.E.K.K.A from Clash Royale. Ooh. Were you a P.E.K.K.A?
As it turns out, the more you fuck around, the more you find out.
Time to find out.
You do look like a P.E.K.K.A. Ha ha ha. You might find it interesting then. I storyboarded a lot of the Clash of Clans and Clash Royale commercials. I did. Yeah. I did indeed. My homie. Not the good ones. There are good ones, and there are good ones, and then there are the ones that I storyboarded. Most recent one. Well, if you, did you ever see this? This was the Clash of Clans short film. Yeah, Old Maxi storyboarded this. I had help from another artist too, but she and I did the whole film together. Oh good, I'm glad you liked it. I had a lot of fun working on it. So, I wonder if they have credits. Yeah, here, you'll see my name in the credits somewhere. They probably put me at the bottom, but trust me, I was there. Let's see here. All my employers. All these people I know. Let's pause here. There I am. Okay, looks like they listed it in alphabetical. So that's me. I ain't making shit up. I'll pull up, yeah, let me pull up, It's been many years. No one will mind if I show a couple storyboards from it. Yeah, ooh, lots of storyboards. There were many different ideas that were bandied about. There was so much there was so much potential that that I really wanted to. I was like, can we please try this? Can we please try that? And we were rebuffed with a lot of what I thought were some good ideas were turned down. I don't want to overextend and show things that I shouldn't. Huh. Did they do? Alright, what did I do with that thing? Here, let's find. Let's see if I can find some of these specifics. Okay, yeah, we definitely did a lot of stuff with the bombs. Okay. Yeah. Like, here. They don't, it doesn't quite match up. But here's a drawing I did. It's like, it was sort of funny. Like the aspect ratio got changed at some point. Because obviously this is like super epic widescreen. And then they split the difference here. Stay there. Oh, come on. Larry being a dickhead. Okay. You can, yeah, like you can see this. Some of these drawings are so scribbly you can't even tell what they are. Okay, this is the other artist. Tristan did great work. These are not my paintings. It's like the scene where they fall down. Different things. It's super disorganized. Like my stuff is so disorganized. You can see all sorts of different ideas or getting audited. Yeah, they come crashing through the wall on that giant thing. There was an idea like, what if people are defacing the... Okay, yeah, getting shot at with rocks. Just all sorts of different stuff. So anyway, I was there. I was there when it was just a dream. And so beyond that, I've done more than a few Clash commercials, but I'd say I didn't work on like the ones that were like amazing. Like I really did like Clash as a property, but it wasn't for like, for instance, I don't play Clash, and I don't it definitely took me a while to understand like what was their humor. Because I'd be like, okay, let's try this gag, let's try this joke, and they'd be like, no, let's try this one instead. And I'm like, okay, I guess that's funny. And then like people go nuts for it. And I'm like, okay, there's some sort of formula for success here, but it's not in the typical tropes that I think I would normally get. It's a very international kind of IP. Whereas my comedic sensibilities really default to sort of like American vaudeville, especially in cartoon stuff. Yeah, or there would be like, okay, I'd have an idea that like, oh, well, this person is like this, so their stick should be like that. But their stick would be something different. In some ways, I'm trying to be diplomatic about it, but I found some of the ideas to be a little contradictory, or every project that I care about I end up having frustrations with, because it's like you draw something every day, sort of like force yourself to love it. I did really love those characters, but I couldn't help but imagine things a little different, and it's one thing to see it in your own head, but it can be difficult to get other people to see it the same way. Here's a sequence I'll show you. Here, we can go through this. Here. Let's see if this works. Yeah. Okay, so this is them falling. Yeah, they have amazing character design. Like, the IP is incredible. They're falling. We fall through the mouth. Then he's falling to the ground. Falls through all these. These are like tropes, right? Falling through all this stuff. Lands. Crown goes rolling. Reaches for it. Tries to get it. Falls down. All the way down. Down, down, down. Into the dragon's mouth. And here comes Larry. Right? Is Larry's the cute one, right? I forget what the other guy's name is. Walk away, yeah. That's fun. You're a fan of storyboarding now, right? A little behind the scenes, yeah. I mean, I have a trillion drawings. Maybe later I'll find the stuff where like all the bombs start exploding. I mean, those were some cool drawings. Why can't I find them? I'll have to find them. all early stuff. Armory. Here's Armory. Yeah. All the bombs. Armor. Larry sees bombs. Grabbing swords. Uh-oh. Peter, I guess that was his name. All sorts of different ideas. Like, we tried everything. Everything that we could have tried, we did try. And then we just put it together in editing. Good. I mean, it was well received. It ultimately, I couldn't ignore what was. To me, there was stuff left on the table. Like, I wanted there to be like a, you know, I didn't like, I don't have any authority. I can't push for this stuff, but, you know, I tried to say like, hey, what if there was a love interest or something like that? Like, what if Peter was, you know, in love with a princess, for instance, and couldn't figure out a way to get her attention, and then by the end he can like save the day and get the girl. Okay, yeah. Well, that's fair. Here's one thing that happens in game advertising is the game companies themselves are so secretive about this stuff that they don't tell the artists. Like, for instance, sometimes we're advertising characters that haven't come out yet, and the gameplay that will be featured, like the strategies and the tone of the character, hasn't even been established yet. So even if the game company didn't want to be so secretive to sort of keep us in the dark about what a character does, yeah, so you can kind of like, you can extrapolate from that. You could realize it's like, I think this is like a big deal about, like, by the time the thing comes out, people have been working on it for years, but sometimes they had to get sometimes things get in the game changed at the last second, that the people who had been working on the advertising for the thing aren't even aware of it by the time it's released. And something can have a completely different presentation in the game versus like the advertising. And it feels like it's a mistake on the advertiser's part, but everybody is doing their best to earnestly represent this stuff. It's like hitting a movie. It's very guessworky. You have to bring a lot of like your experience and sort of guts and, you know, logic. But again, like, you're really just guessing. There's no way to know for sure. And the clients themselves are not necessarily the people at the video game company who are hiring the advertisers are not necessarily super informed about what the developers themselves are wanting to do. It's very... One thing that's just been consistent always is that there's often a lot of tension between the marketing and development wings on video games. They'll be like, they shouldn't be, but they'll be like argumentative siblings. Each feeling put off or sabotaged by the efforts of the other to sort of take the spotlight. And then as an artist, seemingly working for both interests, it's easy to feel trapped. You do your best, you put forth your best efforts. You know, we on Clash, no matter what, you know, every day we do our best. But there were good ideas that were not necessarily allowed to take root for reasons that we don't end up getting an explanation. You know, we're as an artist on the team, I'm just a vendor ultimately. I don't have any sort of creative control, unfortunately. I can only make suggestions, and if I can't sell through those suggestions to client adequately, they're not going to get through. But it was still an awesome job, like awesome experience, very cool team, very creative team, and it happened to coincide with the time when I really needed the work too. So I was extremely grateful for the opportunity. And to date, that's probably my biggest, the biggest project I've worked on. Faye, I'm only going to go for a few minutes longer. Yeah, it was definitely a fun one. Do you play Apex Legends, perchance? That's another one I worked on. Nope. Okay. There's a Batman VR game that just had a trailer drop that I storyboarded. And that's another good example of a game where the specifics about the game, like the story and what happens in it, very secretive, and therefore very difficult to glean what is happening. Okay, so I showed you that already. Great. But all those things definitely applied there, where every day I'd get a new script emailed showing, you know, mostly it was the same, but things were slightly different. And a lot of stuff, we'd have to make big changes on account of things changing. But that's okay. They're honing in on the message same way everybody has to on their own stuff. Iterating, reworking. It's no different than my old website being a disaster and needing to get changed. Even though Comic Sans is an amazing font, I had to change it. Bill made some good progress here today. One thing I'll try to do eventually is when these... I'll find a point in which probably I'll have maybe these first two rows essentially done. And at that point, I'll sort of export them and start experimenting with a little bit more of an aggressive social media outreach. Just see if it gets any traction. Like there's a Zelda subreddit, you know, I'll post something there. Are you skeptical? Reddit gets you nothing? Yeah. I'm not, so, you know, it's an experiment. I'm not unaware that it's not going to be a gold mine of opportunity. It may give me something, however, that it may allow an idea I haven't thought of yet to pop into my head. Even if that idea is Reddit gets you nothing. Well, this might be a different, see, what this may serve as, it's not like it's disinformation, but the, you know how sometimes people make fake models of iPhones and then purport them to be leaks of the new iPhone? This isn't going to be purported to be like a leak of some new Zelda stuff. But of course, if somebody aside from me said that it was, then I'm not to blame for the message being misconstrued. In the right packaging, something like this, I think, could get clicks. Now, what that means for me, I don't know. Probably translate to literally no dollars at all, but before that happens, I'd like to have a good amount of stuff already in place, but already underway as well. And we're getting close, so. Yeah, I think Kara has its issues, because I'm not sure. Granted, the artists are there. But what I do in storyboards is difficult to... It's already very challenging for me just to manage a minimal social presence. It's going to be difficult for me to add one more into the mix. I am on Kara, though. Or at least I had my name. Staked my name. Alright, this feels good. Good enough for a stream, yeah. So I can be more on Kara if it turns out. See, it's okay for that to be where the artists go. There also has to be the audience there, and I'm not sure if artists as audience is something like convert that to a living. I'm not sure it's as easy. You might be running into something. Okay, add me on Discord. The cardboard armor stuff, you know, your audience is probably your fellow artist. And artists themselves don't necessarily tend to have a lot of cash. So, it's sort of interesting. I'm not saying anything. It's just sort of a reality where it's like, where I've found success selling my art, it's been being demonstrably successful at showing that I can draw stuff that other people will need for their own small businesses that they needed to get off the ground. Like a logo or a quick advertisement or something like that. A drawn advertisement. Huh. Well, anyway, food for thought. I'm going to wrap it up. Well, thanks for keeping me company. Somewhat quick stream, but we got this background done. That feels good. And yeah, I'll add you on the Discord. Alrighty. Alright, you have a great day. I'll see you next time.